and to everyone.
So, a very good morning, all of you. We are finally live for the much awaited stream. And today we have with us Mr. Jagdish Manglani, sir, the chairman and founding member of Dolphins Group of Schools. I am sure you must be wondering that the session was promised with Deepika ma'am, but you can't see her right now. So the reason is that for due to some personal reasons, some medical issues, she's busy. So that is why I requested Jagdish sir to be here today with all of us because it was going to be an important session. It was about career counseling session. And since we have the Chartered Accountants Day and Doctors Day, so that is the reason we promised to bring CA Deepika Manglani ma'am to be with us here. But it's okay. We'll continue today with another special person, which is Jagdish sir. So before we begin and before I shoot some questions to Jagdish sir, I would just like to tell you that he did this amazing course, which is it used to be my dream college when I was in school because I'm a Bhavanite and SP Jain has a good connection with Bhavans. So he did his PhD FMB from FP Jain College. It is a family business management college and like course, sorry, and it's an amazing course. So, Jagdish, sir, my first question to you would be: how was your experience studying at such an amazing college?
Well, first of all, I'd like to apologize that Deepika could not show up today. She has certain tests to be done in a hospital, so she got occupied and the time extended. So she asked me to join and take this session instead of skipping it or maybe rescheduling it. And I also, as a good husband, decided to show up. So this was the background. And now about my experience as a alumni of SPGen Institute of Management, Mumbai. But I would say it was wow. It was amazing. It was I think the most important thing that happened to me all my life. So I studied for uh, medical. To be honest, I studied for medical after my 12th, and then I somehow could not continue, and then I shifted to after my graduation. I did my I prepared for my CAT, and I made it to Nursi Monji, SPGN, and all. So I decided to take up instead of PGDBM, that's postgraduate diploma in management. I decided to, instead of taking that MBA, I decided to take PGDBM, Family Managed Business course, because I wanted to be an entrepreneur, set up a business. That was my vision all my life. So that is what I ended up doing. And by God's grace, yeah, I got selected, and I had an amazing experience. I learned so many things over there, and it shaped me into the kind of person I am today. Yeah.
Okay. Like looking at your journey, and when you said that first you were planning to, or you were asked to do, or you were studying for medical, but then you thought of switching it to some another stream, something very totally different. So my question is like, how do we actually choose our career? Because that is one of the biggest question in every child, every person, every parent's mind. Even after becoming something, even after having a job, sometimes people think, "Okay, am I on a right track?" So, and when you said that you were studying for medical, I thought that this is something very important to be discussed. Like, how do you reflect back and how would you see now that you have come a long way, that how to choose a career?
Well, this is getting nostalgic, but then yes, at my time when I was growing up, I was too good at studies. Like I used to come first in my section in my class that way. So I was in the top five always. So it so happens that at the time that my dad said that since you're intelligent, and why don't you take up science and become a doctor? So I was like, okay, I'll do that. I did not analyze much what exactly I wanted to do, but while I was studying biology in 11th and 12th, and then we had to dissect a frog or something. That is time I realized that this is not me. I mean, I cannot cut open bodies like that. So I mean, I realized that at the first time that okay, this is something I've chosen because I was good at studies. I chose medical because my dad wanted me to be a doctor, but then somehow I could make out that somehow it's not my inner calling. I don't want to be a doctor. But then I did listen to that inner voice that time, and I started studying. I really worked hard, and somewhere along the way, I was studying like 18 hours, 16 hours a day for medical, and I was not going places. Like I was feeling that somehow it's taking a toll on my life. And then I discussed with my one of my uncles, and he suggested that what is something you love doing? I said I love to start a business. I love to do something in commerce. I mean, medical is not me. So he said, then why don't you pursue that? So that is the time I took a turn and then decided, okay, let me do what I want to do. So I took up commerce. I did my BCom and then did my MCom, and then after that, I convinced my father to send me to Delhi to study for CAT exam and get into the best colleges in India. And then I made it to Aspiration, and in Aspiration I was suggested you have two options: either to become a good manager in a big company and do MBA, or to choose upon a new course. They started that time, that was like the family managed business, FMB they call it, and that was basically aimed at creating entrepreneurs. So I decided to take the later, and I did FMB, and I'm glad I did that. And that's how the whole thing started. I mean, it was basically not listening to my inner voice that led me to all the experience I have had. So that's my journey.
Wow, this was just amazing. I would like to ask you something, that what if a child is not much aware about his or her interest, or what if the parent is not being able to find what the interest is? Like in your case, you yourself found out that you are somebody who would want to go ahead with the business. And but what if the child is not being able to determine, or if the child has determined, what can parents do to nurture it better?
Well, when it comes to the students, they need to, I think, contemplate. They need to analyze what they're good at, and also seek guidance. They need to talk to their seniors, they need to talk to their friends, they need to talk to their parents, they need to talk to career counselors, they need to talk to their teachers, the principal in the school, whoever is accessible. And maybe talk to some uncles who have been at certain places in life. Discuss, talk as much as possible. And one thing I'll say is they need to listen to their hearts. You need to listen to your heart. That's one thing I'll say. The crux of the whole thing is choose something, choose a career which is something you would love to do, instead of people wanting you to do. If you choose that, then there are no regrets. I mean, you live a life which is happy. Like in the movie Three Idiots, we saw that this one of the friends wanted to be a wildlife photographer, but then he was becoming an engineer because the family wanted him so. And then at some time he decided he would like to do what he wanted to do, and then he was okay having a small car but still being happy. So that is one thing I would emphasize in this whole platform, that choose something you love doing. If somebody wakes you up at 2 at night and says let's do this, and you should be able to say okay, let's do it. Like suppose I love painting, so I don't mind if you wake me up at 2 at night and say okay, let's paint something. So I would love to do that. And if I make something nice and it gets sold at a good price and then I'm making money out of it, I would love that. But then it's much better than doing something which people want you to do, and then you do it because it looks good, but it's not coming from your heart. So I would suggest that let's listen to your heart and understand what you love
Yeah,
doing.
yeah, very true. Rightly said. Even I had a similar experience. So I did my schooling from Bharati Vidyavan Vidyashram, and when I was in 11th and 12th grade, I chose to have commerce, and I never had a pressure from my parents that you have to choose this subject or that subject, but I chose to go for commerce. And then because everybody around me, they were having or they were doing a CA course or a CS course, so that's why even I decided to go for CS. But then eventually I realized that it was not for me. And then I remembered that my father had once told me before I was selecting my college that I should go for bachelor's in English literature. So I don't know how did he know that it would be a good idea for me, because eventually I am doing the same thing now. So I ended up becoming a teacher of English. But when I was choosing my college, that was the first course my father had suggested me. But I thought that no, everybody is doing this. It was a trend in those days, in 2012, 13. That CA was a big thing. Even now it is, but at that time it was like too much trending. So I thought that okay, I should go for CS or CA only. So I took that path, but then eventually I realized that it was not for me. And now that I look back and I reflect back, I think storytelling is something that I have always loved, even as a child. And now I'm finally doing that. So this is like really right, and this is very true that whatever makes your heart happy is something that will make you happy while you're choosing your career, living your career, and to make your life much more accomplished. So
Yeah,
thank you
and
so much.
I'm glad that finally you're doing something you love doing, and you happen to be teaching what you said is your passion. That's wonderful. I mean, that's really nice. I'm glad that you landed up where you were meant to be. So
Yeah,
in
thank.
life, in fact, even I at times wonder what is something I actually love doing. That's a key question everybody needs to understand. Finding your inner call, something you're meant to be, somebody God destined you for. That finding the purpose of life, that is I think the key question we need to understand and address, so that we live a life of joy and bliss, and have effortless manifestation happening. So that happens only when you choose something you love doing. Or maybe the second way would be you start loving what you're doing. That's another way of looking at things. If you cannot find what you love doing, then start loving what you're doing, so that you have satisfaction at the end of the day, and you have a sound sleep.
Yeah, I would like to tell our audience that nowadays we also have a lot of career counseling going on. There are lots of professionals who are doing a proper career counseling where they help the children to find out what their interest is, how where their interest lies. And there's this test, psychometric test they call it. It's called DMIT test, through which the fingerprints of a child, they actually get to know that what are the personality traits and what are the streams or what are the career options that the child can pursue. So for example, if somebody is a good orator, they can of course go for law, LLB, or for a teaching profession, or for a marketing or an advertising profession. So this is like very scientific process. So, in case you're a parent and you're thinking, how can I do it better? So, you can always research. There are lots of tests like these, and they are very lucratively possible and very lucratively available in the market these days. So, that is one way. Anything you would like to say, add on, sir?
Well, uh, besides these technical aspects you mentioned, I would suggest parents need to talk to their kids. They need to make them friends. They need to understand them the way they are, and not impose anything they want onto them. Just understanding what exactly they want out of life, and being there as a support for them. The best thing would be talking to them as friends, understanding what they're dealing with in life, what they want to be, and helping the kids find what they want to be, in case they are not able to land upon their you know inner calling. So that's one thing parents need to do: talk, 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 discuss,
Mhm, absolutely. Absolutely. Communication is the key.
and seek professional help. As you mentioned about the professional career counselors, yes, you must seek their advice, understanding the new options that are coming up, which we didn't have our days. So there are a lot of new things that have come up, a lot of career options are coming up. So it's good to connect with someone who's the latest into career counseling technically, and evaluating your possibilities. But the crux is doing something you love doing. So if you focus on that, life is a bliss.
Correct, absolutely. Which brings me to my next question. Since we are talking about conversation, a lot of times, since I'm a teacher now, I meet a lot of my students, and they often come to me with this very common problem that what they are trying to do or what they want to do, their parents are not really agreeing to it, or they are not maybe being able to communicate to them in a proper way. So there is always a communication gap between a child and a parent, and which is very important to clear up, not just for the career, but for the personal growth, emotional growth of a child as well. So some anecdote you would like to share from your parenting experience, which would throw some light on it.
Yeah, I would love to. See, in my case, as a parent, when my kids were growing up, I ensured that they love learning. They love doing what they do. At the time, they were like studying. So I ensured that they love studying. So what I did for that is, I personally took up certain subjects I was good at, like science and maths. I'm good at analysis, so I took up these subjects for them, both the kids, and I made sure that they understand what they're doing, what they're learning, and it should not come as something they need to do. It should come as something they're living, like the percentages, the fractions, the decimals, everything in maths, profit loss, and all those things. So I made it a life experience for my kids. So without taking the books, I ensured that whenever we went for, like, say, the Pizza Hut, so I took the pizza and it already had slices. So four slices out of eight, 4 by 8 is 1 by 2. That's half. That means I've given you half the pizza. Or maybe 2 by 8 is 1 by 4. That's a quarter pizza. So 1 by 8 is 1/8 of a pizza. So all these things, I made sure that they understand what they're doing, and the percentages. The kind of what exactly is the percentage. So I made it so simple for them. Even the tables, 15 times 16 is what, 240. How to do it in no time. So these kind of things I taught my kids, so that they don't have to mug up anything. Because at my time there was a lot of rote learning, there was a lot of mugging up, which I didn't like. So I ensure that they don't have to, undergo the same process. So I contributed my 2 hours daily, 1 hour to each child when they were growing up. I think that laid a good foundation for them, because what happened is, I always thought my son would do business. He would take an MBA or something like that. But I was astonished when he came to me and asked me one day that, okay, I have to decide for my career. What do I do? So I said, what do you want to do? He said, I'm confused. Okay, well, what do you want to do? He said, I want to do business like you. Okay, that's good. So he asked me, what do you suggest? I said, see, you're good at analysis. So understand if you can combine business with technology, because now AI is coming, and technology is everywhere, like the social media. You talk about ERP, SAP, everywhere technology is coming in. Facebook and these WhatsApp, these companies have grown so big. So I was discussing with my kid, and it inspired him so much that he said, okay, I would love to leverage technology into business. So he decided to take up engineering, software engineering, and also take up business simultaneously. So he took his CBSE 10 board exams, and after that, he took a foundation course in New Zealand with the University of Auckland. Now he's studying at University of Auckland in the second semester, second year. That's like he saved his 2 years of his you know academic life. So that is the key thing. Like what happens is, as a parent, if you can understand your child, what he's doing and be there for him, and also inspire him for what he can achieve. Like in your case, your father knew that English would, be your thing. So what you mentioned. So same thing, like a father knows what her son, is good at, and if you can just be there for the child and also help him align with his interests and hobbies, and make him out of that, create a profession out of that. Nothing like it. So the crux is being there for the child whenever he needs you, understanding his life from his perspective at his age. You have to step into the shoes of a teenager, or maybe your own life when you were a teenager, and understand what needs to be done. So create a bond with the child, talk, discuss, you know, synthesize, and let something beautiful show up. So that's what I'll suggest that parents need to do with their kids is be with them. Even if they're finding it difficult, like a parent, like suppose my son wanted to be a doctor and I would not know what to do, but I would have been there for him, understanding how to, navigate the process. I would talk to certain doctors who are my friends, make sure that he gets what he wants to do in life. So aligning with your kids' interests and hobbies and his passion is the key. And
This is
now,
absolutely correct. I would also like to tell my audience that Jagdish Manglani sir is actually living with his son in Auckland since he is pursuing his engineering from there, which I think is a big, big thing. And it's a very difficult thing as well. So this is a live example in front of you how to be with your children, how to stand up for them, how to communicate with them, and how to understand that if the child wants to do something, we can just be behind them and then they can just do wonders with their life. So the key is to be with them and talk to them. Am I
I'm
right,
glad
sir?
that you mentioned that I'm in New Zealand as of now. Otherwise, half the people would think why I'm wearing a jacket at this time. In summers in India, but winters in Auckland. So it's wonderful. Kushbu, you can mute it and unmute when you want to talk. Yeah. So the thing is, it's glad I'm glad that you touched this topic, and yes, it's standing for your kids. That's what we need to focus on. Being there for them whenever they need you. And the big thing is, yeah, I came here as a guardian to him because he was less than 18, and in Auckland they did not allow us to come. I mean, he was not allowed to come by himself. He needed a guardian till he turns 18. So I decided to be here for him. And we believe in family should be together. Then Deepika also came here for, staying with us. That was the best thing because, and I mean, the whole family came here for some time so that we be there for our kids. So because other things can wait, but a kid's career needs to be taken care of at the right time. So being there for your kids is the message I would, as you rightly picked up, would love to give to our audience here. And I'm glad that Deepika just joined us, and we have been missing her, no doubt. A lot of people were missing her. So glad that she's here. So I think you can shoot your next questions to her. Yeah, over to
Yeah,
Deepika.
thank you. Correct, correct. Welcome, Deepika ma'am. People were
Yeah,
waiting for you.
thank you, Kushbu. I'm really sorry. I got some tests to be done, and okay, so I got finally free now. I'm there for you, and thank you all
Uh,
who are
I,
watching.
I hope you are doing well.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm very good.
Yeah. So, ma'am, as you were there, you know, and you already know what we are talking about. There were a few questions from parents of like very young kids from class three, class kindergarten, and stuff like that. So, what would be your view, or what would be your thing to them, or what would be your suggestion to them that how can they from now, from this tender age, how can they contribute to the career building of their child from this tender age?
Okay, very good question. What as a parent they should do? So I believe I will definitely talk about what I got from my parents. So it is very important to give exposure to children. उसको क्या अच्छा लगता है और क्या क्या चीज़ अवेलेबल है, वो हमारा उनको देना बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है. So I still remember my mom give me platform every summer vacation to learn something new. So I'm jack of all, master of none. So मेरे पास बहुत सारी skills हैं जो मैंने धीरे धीरे मम्मी या पापा ने कभी इनरोल किया था, वो चीज़ें करती गई. So I feel क्या अवेलेबल है वो एज अ पेरेंट हमारा काम है बच्चों को देना, और फिर बच्चे धीरे धीरे डिसाइड करेंगे कि वो उस पे कैसे जा रहे हैं. लाइक आई गिव एग्जांपल ऑफ मोक्ष. एट द एज ऑफ 3 आई गिव हिम स्विमिंग. नाउ ही इज अ स्विमिंग चैंपियन and he is doing surfing. So at age 3 he got exposure to water and now he loves water. I don't know whether Harshita is watching it or not, but Harshita उसकी जब वो 5-6 साल का था तब उसकी ड्राइंग टीचर हुआ करती थी, एंड वो उसको क्लास देती थी 5 साल के बच्चे को. वो मुझे बोलती थी मैम ये कुछ नहीं कर रहा है. मैंने बोला आपके साथ बैठा है ना, दैट्स इनफ फॉर मी. नाउ आई डोंट नो, वन फाइन डे एट द एज ऑफ इन हिज 10th क्लास इन फैक्ट ही स्टार्टेड मेकिंग एनिमेस. वो उसकी कोई भी कॉपी उठाओ इंग्लिश की, जब फिजिक्स की, कहीं ना कहीं कोई ड्राइंग मिल जाता था. He made portrait of me, my mom. I never taught him how to make portraits, but he made it. Now he's playing guitar. So we don't know हमारे बच्चे अपने साथ क्या कला लेकर आए हैं. जैसे मैंने अपने पेरेंटिंग सेशन में कई बार बोला कि बच्चे हमारी नेमत हैं, हमें ऊपर वाले से गिफ्ट मिला है, उस गिफ्ट को हमें संभालना है. हम और आप कौन होते हैं उसको बनाने वाले? जो बनाना था ऊपर वाले ने बना के भेजा है, हमारा सिर्फ प्लेटफॉर्म है. सो वो प्लेटफॉर्म बनिए. प्लेटफॉर्म में एक ट्रेन आती है चली जाती है, दूसरी ट्रेन आती है चली जाती है. सिमिलरली आप एक प्लेटफॉर्म है, बच्चे आए हैं चले जाएंगे, आपको छोड़ देंगे, आप अकेले रहोगे, दुनिया उनकी है, हम वापस चले जाएंगे जहाँ से आए थे. सो हमें उस प्लेटफॉर्म की तरह काम करना है कि अभी हमने इस टाइम इनको रीडिंग की स्किल्स दी, इस टाइम हमने उनको म्यूजिक की स्किल्स दी, इस टाइम हमने उनको फाइनेंस की स्किल दी. तो आपका काम है देना, उसका काम है लेना, और उसमें से कौन सी चीज वो पकड़ के अपना करियर बना देगा वो तो फ्यूचर बताएगा. बट करियर किस में बनाना है उसका एक्सपोजर देना एज अ पेरेंट हमारा काम है.
This is absolutely correct. Yeah, even like this makes me think about my journey. It makes me reflect upon my journey. So my parents were exactly the same. So wherever I used to go, they would be there always. They would used to take me. They used to take me for swimming classes. So I was in the swimming school swimming team as well. Then they used to take me for sports classes. I have played lawn tennis as well. That is the reason whatever height I have right now, I have it. And then I remember my father would be there always. So my coaching, my tuition was very far away from my place. So he was always there waiting outside for me. And for if I speak about public speaking, so my mother would always send me to some public speaking classes in every summer holiday. My father actually gave me the exposure to go and speak and anchor for certain events at a very good level. So now that I reflect back, whatever I am right now is all because that they were aware enough to give me an exposure, which is something very important. So even if the parent doesn't know कि मेरे बच्चे को किस चीज में इंटरेस्ट है, आप उसको एक्सपेरिमेंट करवा दो हर चीज में. चाहे वो एक दिन के लिए जाए कहीं पे, 10 दिन के लिए जाए, पर वो करे सब कुछ. So I have been to like music classes as well. I went there for 10-15 days. It was not my thing, so I left it. But they have sent me everywhere. So this is something
So
very good.
that's what the message is, that as a parent
Yeah,
आप भेजो, और एक्सपेक्टेशन मत लगाओ। कई बार खुशबू पेरेंट एक्सपेक्टेशन में भी अटक जाते हैं। 10 दिन से स्विमिंग जा रहा है, स्विमिंग नहीं कर रहा है, अरे ठीक है, 10 दिन में नहीं किया, 15वें दिन में करेगा, 1 महीने में करेगा। आई मीन हैव पेशेंस एंड गिव एक्सपोजर। दैट्स व्हाट आई लर्नड
Correct.
विद माय चिल्ड्रन कि आई डिड नॉट नो वो क्या करेगा, but I give expectation. I give platform to them. That's what me and Jagdish sir did always.
Yeah, this is something which happened with me as well. So when I went for my swimming classes, I was the last one to learn even how to float. And my mother was like, "Isko nahi aayegi." But my father, like, he did not give up. He did not say me anything. And then after a few days, I became the best swimmer there. So I was somebody who couldn't float for 1 week, whereas other kids they had learned to float on the first day or the second day. I couldn't learn to float for a week, and then I was somebody who was swimming for 50 meters, like the whole length of the pool, and nobody could do it. So you never know what would happen with the child. Like you never know what will happen, what is there in the future.
So
So patience
बोलते
is very
हैं,
important.
हाँ बोलते हैं ना कि अपना डॉल्फिन्स का मैसेज है, बिलीव एंड यू विल अचीव। सो वो बिलीव होना बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है। अचीवमेंट अपने आप ही आ जाएगा। तो अचीवमेंट आएगा फिर बिलीव होगा, वोंट गो। यू हैव बिलीव फर्स्ट, देन अचीवमेंट विल हैपन।
Correct. Absolutely. So, since we are here because of the CA Day and the Doctors Day, and you are a CA yourself, so this is a question, very important question. How did you crack this exam? How did you decide that you wanted to be a CA? Because all of us here know that it is one of the most difficult papers to crack in India. So, how was your experience? What was that journey like to be a CA?
So if I answer that, that's a bad question to answer because my coming to CA was not my first choice. I always wanted to be an IITN, so I wanted to be an engineer. But my father did not allow me to go out, so he told me, "You do whatever you want to do, but stay at home." So this was the only course which I can get enrolled and do at home. So that's why I chose to be CA. Another thing was nobody in my family believed that I will be CA. Nobody, including my parents. And that made me do it. That okay, आपको लगता नहीं मैं कर सकती, तो मैं अब करके दिखाती हूँ। So वो जुनून वहाँ से आया। Plus, I truly agree with you. It's one of the difficult course. कोई भी इनरोल करता है तो मैं उसको बोलती हूँ 100 बार सोच लो कि यहाँ इस रास्ते जाना है कि नहीं जाना है। देर इज नो टर्निंग बैक हेयर। अपने इंडिया में जो पढ़ाई है उसका कट ऑफ रेट बहुत कम है। मेरे टाइम पे उसका कट ऑफ रेट 4 या 5% होता था। आई डोंट नो री अभी क्या है, मे बी इससे आगे पीछे ही होगा,
It's like
ज्यादा
six
नहीं
or
होगा।
7%. Yeah, now it's
हाँ
6 to 7%.
सो फॉर विद मी इट वाज 4-5%। कि अगर 100 लोग बैठेंगे तो 4 CA बनेंगे, तो भाई 96 क्या करें, वो दोबारा एग्जाम देने आए। तो ठीक है, इट इज वेरी चैलेंजिंग, नो डाउट। एंड आई डिड इट, मतलब मेरा भी इतना इजी नहीं था। आई क्लियर्ड फाउंडेशन फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट, आई क्लियर्ड इंटरमीडिएट सेकेंड फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट, आई डिलेड माई सेल्फ इन फाइनल एग्जाम। और फाइनल एग्जाम में मैं 3 बार फेल हुई थी, और 1 नंबर से, 2 नंबर से। तो वो जो 1 नंबर से आप फेल होते हो ना, तो वो आपको कहीं का नहीं छोड़ता है, वो आपको गिव अप करने के लिए भी नहीं छोड़ता है, और आप मजबूर होते हो कि अच्छा 1 नंबर है, अगली बार पास करके दे देंगे। सो आई थिंक आई टुक अराउंड 5 to 6 years to be a CA, and a lot of credit goes to my in-laws, my husband, for getting it. I cleared it after my marriage. मेरा final exam मेरी शादी के बाद clear हुआ था, and मैं शादी के बाद भी मैंने 1 साल पढ़ाई करी है एग्जाम क्लियर करने के लिए। I'm really indebted to them and honored that they give me this time to actually get my degree. एंड टू बी ऑनेस्ट, एक चीज जो मैंने सीए करके सीखी, फॉरगेट अबाउट द सब्जेक्ट्स एंड ऑल, इसने मुझे काम करना सिखा दिया, इसने मुझे मेहनत करना सिखा दिया। आज मैं 18-20 घंटे काम कर सकती हूँ बिना चेहरे पे शिकन लाए। दैट इज बिकॉज मैं 18-20 घंटे पढ़ती थी जब मैं सीए कर रही थी। सो इट हैज गिवन मी पावर to survive, and that's the biggest skill you should have.
Yeah, correct. It is like it is rightly said that knowledge is something that never goes waste. So, if you're a student watching this video, then you should know that it doesn't matter. Sometimes we make wrong decisions. Sometimes you would feel कि यार मैं गलत subject ले लिया या मैंने गलत stream choose कर लिया. Studying would always help you. So never that whatever we are doing, maybe like it is a waste. Never feel some anything is a waste. So I spent 5 years studying commerce. I did my BCom, I did my MCom, and then eventually I don't know how I ended up becoming a teacher of English. But now I feel कि मैंने अपने वो 5 साल बिल्कुल waste नहीं करे हैं, because the kind of knowledge that I have right now and the kind of storytelling skills I have right now, it actually makes me a different teacher from from other conventional teachers of English. So it always helps, and nothing goes waste. You can always turn around. You can always start your journey on a new point, on a new start. There is always a fresh start. So it's okay. Even if you feel you are in 12th grade and you have taken a wrong subject, it's fine. Sail through it, give your best, and maybe you can turn the page, like a new page can be a new start for you. So it's absolutely fine.
Yeah, that's what मेरा, मुझे जब आईआईटी नहीं मिला करने के लिए, सिलेक्शन टू 11th में ही करना था ना कि कॉमर्स पढ़ना है कि मैथ्स पढ़ना है। सो वहीं पे हो गया था कि मैथ्स नहीं पढ़ना है, आपको कॉमर्स पढ़ना है। तो ठीक है, मेरी मम्मी ने बहुत अच्छी बात बोली थी कि जो तुम्हें मिल रहा है उसमें एक्सेल करो, जो नहीं मिल रहा है उसके लिए रोने से कोई फायदा नहीं है। So, okay, I took her advice and I excelled there. So I was a topper in my 12th board. I topped my university. I got scholarship. So yes, आप, वो थ्री इडियट्स में डायलॉग है ना, आप सक्सेस के पीछे मत भागो, आप एक्सेलेंस के पीछे भागो। अपने आप में काम करो, एक्सेलेंट काम करो, सक्सेस आपकी कदम चूमेगी। एंड अगेन आपने जब बताया कि आपने जो किया और आज जो कर रहे हो उसमें डिफरेंस है, बट वही एप्पल के सीईओ ने, स्टीव जॉब ने एक बार बोला था ना कि जब आप पीछे देखोगे और अपने लाइफ के डिसीजंस के डॉट्स को कनेक्ट करोगे तो आपको लगेगा कि कुछ भी गलत नहीं था, सब कुछ हुआ था क्योंकि वो सब कुछ प्लान था। सो आप अपना कर्म करिए, गीता वही बोलती है, आप अपना कर्म करिए, फल की इच्छा मत करिए। और आगे जब देखोगे पीछे मुड़ के तो आपको लगेगा हाँ यार, मेरा सीए होना was a big thing for me to be here। अगर मैं चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट नहीं होती तो आज मैं आपके सामने नहीं होती। क्यों? क्योंकि मेरी जगदीश सर से शादी नहीं होती। उन्होंने मेरा चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट वर्ड देख के मुझ मुझे मिलने आए थे। सो अगेन ओके, आई गिव क्रेडिट कि चलो सीए बनी तो मुझे जगदीश मिले।
So this was your pathway to becoming the director of Dolphins High School.
Oh yeah, I can say that। And yeah, here also, if you ask me, I don't look after accounts. I look after everything except accounts.
Yeah.
But yeah, though that's like my passion. And at this audience, I really want everybody to be in path of learning something new every time, every moment. So life is changing. Change is law of nature, and that's what I would like everybody टू लर्न एवरी मोमेंट। कुछ नया करते रहो, सीखते रहो, आगे बढ़ते रहो। आजकल आप लोगों के लिए, बच्चों के लिए तो बहुत आसान है, एक इंस्टाग्राम वीडियो देखा, कुछ नया सीख लिया। आई सीन माई बॉयज एक वीडियो देख के केक बना लेते हैं वो। वैसे लो बड़ा मजेदार है ये तो, एक शॉट देखो और वो तो इतनी फास्ट सैलेड बना लेते हैं। अच्छा प्रोटीन सैलेड चाहिए, एक इंस्टाग्राम का शॉट निकाला, आपने बना लिया। बट मजा तब है जब आप सिर्फ स्क्रॉल नहीं करो, उस स्क्रॉल को रोक के जो सीखा है वो बनाओ, देन आपको मजा आएगा। अदरवाइज स्क्रॉलिंग में तो उंगली घुमाते रहते आप, घूम जाएगा, वो नहीं होगा। बट yes, if you have seen something, practice it so that you know how to do it, and it's easy.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This is this one question that I asked even sir, which is like, how was your experience, or what are the challenges that you faced when you were a student and you were choosing your career, which we have already covered. And but now, what are your challenges, or what were the challenges that you faced when you became a parent? So, your point of view on that, or what you have seen around you, the challenges, since you meet a lot of parents, what are the challenges that parents face, and how you have helped them, or how you help yourself, and what is that one suggestion, or what are your views on this that you would like to tell our audience? How can they face their challenges?
I I'll twist the question little bit and answer
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
I hope that will answer your question.
Yes, ma'am.
What I have noticed, we all are incomplete human beings, Khushbu, and we all want to get ourselves complete from our children. अगर मैं डॉक्टर नहीं बना तो मैं अपने बच्चे को डॉक्टर बनाना चाहता हूँ। अगर मैंने आईआईटी नहीं क्लियर किया तो मैं अपने बच्चे को आईआईटी, तो हम अपने अधूरे सपने अपने बच्चों से पूरे कराने चाहते हैं, एंड दैट्स द बिगेस्ट मिस्टेक। आई बेग यू, प्लीज डोंट डू इट। वो बच्चे पिस जाते हैं आपकी इच्छाएं पूरी करते करते, या फिर वो उग्रवादी हो जाते हैं। आई मीन, या तो वो पिसेंगे या वो आपको छोड़ के चले जाएंगे। सो क्या कोई मिडिल पाथ है? गौतम बुद्धा भी बोलते थे स्टे इन द मिडिल। व्हाट इज द मिडिल पाथ? You keep your expectations with your children, and then let them also understand what they want to do. एक बहुत अच्छा कोट पढ़ा था, if you love somebody, set that person free. If that person comes back to you, he was yours. If he doesn't, he was never yours. Same goes with us. कि पहली बात, हमें बच्चे हमारी जागीर नहीं है, तो हम बच्चों पे अपनी चीजें थोपे नहीं। हर इंडिविजुअल को ऊपर वाले ने जब भेजा है ना, तो कुछ सोच के भेजा है, और वो हर इंसान की अपनी जर्नी होती है कि वो खोजे अपने आप को कि मैं क्या बनने आया हूँ, मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ उस यूनिवर्स में, मुझे क्यों भेजा गया है। दैट्स अ क्वेस्ट एवरीबडी हैज टू आंसर फॉर हिमसेल्फ। एंड अगर क्रिकेट, सचिन तेंदुलकर को माइक पकड़ा दिया होता तो सचिन क्रिकेटर नहीं बनता, और लता मंगेशकर को क्रिकेट बैट पकड़ा दिया होता तो वो गा ही नहीं पाती। सो अगर उनके पापा मम्मी ने ये गलती नहीं की, तो हम लोग भी ये गलती ना करें। हमारी लाइफ में जो होना था वो हो गया। क्या हम एक्सेप्ट कर सकते हैं? क्या हम एक्सेप्ट कर सकते हैं मैं डॉक्टर नहीं बना? क्या मैं एक्सेप्ट कर सकती हूँ मैं आईटी इंजीनियर नहीं बनी? मुझे कोई रिग्रेट नहीं है, आई एम नॉट आईटी इंजीनियर। हाँ, एक बात और है, हो सकता है अगले साल जब मैं तुम्हारे साथ यहाँ पे आऊँ तो डॉक्टर का भी डिग्री लगा के आऊँ, बिकॉज मेरा बहुत मन है पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन करने का, पीएचडी करने का। पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन कर रही हूँ। So, okay, that's my wish. I wanted to be doctor. I'll take the doctor degree as well. So, yeah, the message is live and let your children live. Don't live your life from your children's life. मैं आज भी अपने बच्चों को बोलती हूँ, अपनी my child is in Australia, New Zealand. I don't know whether he will come back or not. But I keep telling him that we have schools in India and it will go forever. So you do whatever you want to do, but school is still there and you have to manage once I'm not there. So at the back of his mind, he knows कि मैं कुछ भी करूँ मुझे लिबर्टी है, बट 2 घंटे 4 घंटे मुझे स्कूल को भी देखना है। ओके, दैट्स योर चॉइस। तुम 4 घंटे में मैनेज कर सकते हो जो मैं 8 घंटे में कर सकती हूँ, दैट योर पोटेंशियल, you can do that. You can hire people better than yourself and manage your school in a better way. So that's, anything is possible, everything is possible. We all just have to live our life and let everybody live their life. इट्स देयर जर्नी, उनको एक्सप्लोर करने दो। और बहुत सारे, हमारे ज़माने में तो खुशबू, हम डॉक्टर बनेंगे और इंजीनियर बनेंगे, बस यही होता था और कुछ नहीं होता था। ग्रेजुएशन बीए बीएड वालों को तो हम लोग बोलते थे ये बकवास लोग हैं, कुछ नहीं करते ये लोग। सो अब वो धारणा चेंज हो गई है। इतने सारे अमेजिंग कोर्सेज अवेलेबल हैं, साइबर सिक्योरिटी, एआई, व्हाट नॉट इज कमिंग अप। आजकल यूट्यूबिंग इज अ कैरियर। हम लोग को पता ही नहीं है यूट्यूब कैसे पैसे बनाता है, बट देर आर मल्टी मिलियनर्स जो मिलियंस कमा रहे हैं यूट्यूब में। सो वी डोंट नो। सो आई थिंक एज अ पेरेंट वी नीड टू जस्ट encourage what children is good at and what he wants to do। वो कर लेगा। जैसे नहीं, वो मुझे हमेशा इस, जब ये सवाल आता है तो मुझे वो फरहान का डायलॉग याद आता है, 3 इडियट्स वाला, जो अपने पापा को बोलता है, पापा मैं कम कमाऊंगा ना, पर अच्छा फोटोग्राफर बन जाऊंगा। आईआईटी में काम करके इंजीनियर, घटिया इंजीनियर बनने से अच्छा तो एक अच्छा फोटोग्राफर बनना है, बट मैं खुश रहूंगा। तो वो जो मैं खुश रहूंगा ना, वो हमेशा हमारे को एक बेल रिंग करना चाहिए। क्या मेरा बच्चा खुश है? क्या उसको अच्छा लग रहा है? अल्टीमेटली लाइफ इज ऑल अबाउट बीइंग हैप्पी, और व्हाट। आई
Correct.
होप आई आंसर्ड योर क्वेश्चन।
Yeah, absolutely. So, since we are on a tight line, I would now open the questions for our audience. So, if you are watching and you have any questions, you can ask from the command. Ma'am, I think you're on mute.
So as we are doing a session on CA and Doctors Day, so my father was an MBBS doctor, and
Oh,
after being a doctor, he served for 2 3 years, and then he became an industrialist. So शायद ये हमारे खून में है कि हम पढ़ते कुछ है और करते कुछ है। So yeah, so I think this CA and doctor thing is a combo today.
that's a lovely anecdote. That's how beautiful and different life is for everyone. So I am sure there are lots of people who dreamt of doing something and now they are doing something completely different, which they had never thought of. It's just how life turns out to be. And I think we should just cherish it. And as parents also, we should understand this, that even our child has a life and we don't know what's there in for them, what's in store for them, and we should just enjoy the journey. We should just make them capable. That's the thing.
Yeah, I truly agree with what you said. Life is all about living every moment, because this one moment will never come back. And I was not sure that I was be able to come and have this session today. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and able to come and have this session today.
Ma'am, your video is freezing, I think.
Yeah, I surrendered and I left open to God. अगर मेरा लिखा होगा तो मैं पहुंच जाऊंगी, नहीं लिखा होगा तो सेशन हो जाएगा मेरे बिना या मेरे साथ। सो सो सरेंडर एंड मूव फॉरवर्ड। गॉड हैज अ प्लान फॉर एवरीबॉडी। सो जिस दिन आप अपने प्लान बनाना छोड़ दोगे, उस दिन गॉड अपने प्लान आपके ऊपर अडाप्ट करना चालू कर देगा। सो दैट्स इट।
True. Yeah. So since we are not getting any questions, I think we are done.
ओके।
It was a lovely session. I would thank Jagdish sir and Deepika ma'am for being here with us today and for their lovely insights. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Khushbu and Deepika. You showed up. That's wonderful, and I totally agree with what Deepika said. That we don't make we don't make plans. God has a plan for us. All we need to do is show up and let music happen, let life happen. But once we understand that, life becomes effortless. It becomes like a flow. It becomes so easy. So it becomes simple. So they say simplicity is the highest form of perfection. So that's what we believe in, keeping life simply simple. So thanks to everyone for being here on this wonderful platform. And I hope a bit that we spoke made a difference to your lives. And we once again thank you for showing up today on this platform. And glad that we could be of some use to you. Thank you.
Okay, so I can
Yeah.
see Rahul Bhati is having a son in class 11 commerce. So yes, anything you want to add to for him?
Uh, like if do we have a question? It's an elaborated question, or
It's just maybe I think he just wanted to say that he's in grade 11 and what options open for him for commerce.
need advice for CA journey? Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so it all goes like this that he can go for his foundation exam just after his 12th. If he is serious, he don't need to do graduation. He can completely take up CA profile, do his foundation exam, do other exams, and do final exams. And definitely, accounts and income tax, these are the main subjects which is there, and law. So, minimum, if you say it will take 4 years, maximum, I don't know, depends on the student. But yes, it requires at least 12 to 15 hours of regular studies. एंड जो जगदीश सर ने बोला चीज़ें समझ के करनी है, रट के आप नहीं पास हो सकते और रटाफिकेशन चलेगा भी नहीं. सो इफ़ यू अंडरस्टैंड द लॉ, if you understand the sections, if you understand the questions, the cases, you'll be able to solve it. So the whole idea is it's a big decision. And do you really want to do CA, chartered accountancy course? Go ahead, do that. बट मेंटली प्रिपेयर हो जाइए कि आपको पास होने के लिए, डिग्री लेने के लिए कम से कम 10-15 घंटे रोज पढ़ने हैं, नॉट वीकली, इट्स एवरी डे. सो एंड दैट्स व्हाट आई स्टार्टेड विद कि मेरी पढ़ने की क्षमता यहाँ पे क्लियर हुई और मेरी मेहनत करने की क्षमता सीए ने बनाई. तो अगर आपको लगता है मैं मेहनत करने के लिए तैयार हूँ, सो गो अहेड.
Yeah, and if you are talking about the procedure, then the procedure is very simple. You have to register yourself, you have to register your child at ICAI Institute. It is the Institute for Chartered Accountants India. And you can do the registration when the child is in 12th standard. या फिर अगर आपको टाइम लेना है तो आप 12th स्टैंडर्ड के बाद भी कर सकते हैं कि 2 बार एग्जाम्स होते हैं. एंड यू कैन जस्ट गिव द एग्जाम्स. फाउंडेशन एग्जाम आप 12th के बाद दे सकते हैं. फिर आपका इंटरमीडिएट एग्जाम होगा, वो अगर आप 1 शॉट में क्लियर कर लेते हैं तो फिर उसके बाद आपकी 3 years की आर्टिकलशिप होगी, विच इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज इंटर्नशिप. एंड देन यू लाइक साइमल्टेनियसली यू प्रिपेयर फॉर योर फाइनल एग्जाम एंड देन यू अपेयर फॉर योर फाइनल एग्जाम्स. और हाँ, अगर आप ग्रेजुएशन भी करना चाहें साथ में तो आप डिस्टेंस लर्निंग से ग्रेजुएशन कर सकते हैं. You can go for BBA, you can go for BCom, you can go for BCom honors. और सीए करने के बाद भी बहुत सारे बच्चे लॉ कोर्स कर लेते हैं, एलएलबी कर लेते हैं, फिर वो कॉर्पोरेट लॉयर्स बन जाते हैं. सो इट्स अ गुड कॉम्बिनेशन. बहुत सारे बच्चे सीएस भी कर लेते हैं साथ में क्योंकि इट्स अ बाय प्रोडक्ट. सो अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल यू विल सी दे आर सीएस, सीए एंड सीएमए आल्सो समटाइम्स. सो there are lots of options. Nowadays, there's also this course called CFA.
Yes, Khushbu, I did uh, my foundation and intermediate along with my graduation. बस कई बार हमेशा मन में डर होता है, सीए नहीं हुआ तो नहीं हुआ तो एक डिग्री तो होगी, तो वो डर के मारे वो कर लेते हैं, क्योंकि पढ़ाई बेसिकली 90% सेम है।
Same.
तो
Yeah.
आपको एग्जाम देना है, तो कुछ अगर
Mhm.
सीए नहीं भी बने तो ग्रेजुएशन तो बनी जाएंगी, ग्रेजुएट की डिग्री तो आई जाएगी। तो इसीलिए हमारे टाइम पे तो यही करते थे, आज के बच्चे भी शायद यही करते होंगे कि एक डिग्री आ रही है, दूसरी एक का भरोसा नहीं, दूसरी का भरोसा है, तो सब
Yeah.
पढ़ाई
Yeah.
सेम है,
Well,
तो पीपल
still,
एनरोल
it's
फॉर
a
बोथ।
common. Yeah, it's a common phenomenon now. We also had one more question was there for Summer. Summer Joshi, class 8, Kavarnagar. I would appreciate if you could elaborate your question. Okay, so, ma'am, anything you would like to tell the children of class 6, very like small kids for kindergarten and prep and nursery, like toddlers, children who are between 3 to 5 years of age or 6 years of age? What are the basic things their parents can do for them? Ma'am, you're on mute. Yeah, you're on mute. No.
Yeah, so I think she may have some network issues. So may I have the question again? Uh, Khushbu, are you on mute as
So-
of now?
yeah,
Yeah.
some basic tips and advices for children who are small right now, who are in kindergarten, sixth standard, third standard, like
Okay.
because parents are always anxious. No matter even if the child is in nursery, they would be anxious.
Okay. Just play with them. For small kids, and in fact for bigger kids also, just play with them. Uh, Create bonding with your kids. Spend time with your kids, so that when the right time comes, they should become able to come and talk to you. Because आपकी जब दोस्ती होगी ना, वो आपसे आके बात करेंगे। जो छोटे बच्चे हैं उनके साथ तो खूब खेलो, कूदो, मस्ती करो, आप भी अपना बचपन जी लो उनके साथ। क्योंकि सबको अच्छा बचपन शायद मिला हो, ना मिला हो, तो ये एक आपके पास सेकंड मौका मालिक ने दिया है। अपने बच्चों के साथ अपना बचपन जियो, खूब मस्ती करो, क्योंकि अभी आपकी दोस्ती हो सकती है उनके साथ। अभी टाइम नहीं दोगे, टीन एज में टाइम देना चाहोगे, तो वो बहुत ज़्यादा भाव नहीं देंगे आपको। अभी से दोस्ती करोगे उनके साथ, तो आगे जाके वो खुद आके आपको बताएँगे, हर चीज़ बताएँगे कि मेरे दोस्त ये करियर ऑप्शन लेना चाहते हैं, तो मैं भी ये लेना चाहता हूँ। क्योंकि ना बहुत ज़्यादा पीयर प्रेशर पड़ता है बच्चों पे कि माय फ्रेंड्स आर डूइंग दिस, आई वुड लव टू डू इट। तो उस समय उनको गाइडेंस चाहिए होती है कि ओके, योर फ्रेंड्स आर डूइंग इट बिकॉज़ they maybe they want to become like that, but do you actually want to be becoming somebody like that? Then they start thinking, then say no, then that's a time you need to navigate them. तो इसका फाउंडेशन अभी डलेगा। स्पेंड टाइम, spend as much time as you can with them, छोटे बच्चों के साथ दोस्ती करें। And for
Over
kids
to
also,
you, Deepika ma'am.
it's, yeah, Deepika, you can continue.
Okay, so I'll tell you a movie to watch. All of those who are watching here, it's a amazing movie, but एक flop movie थी, but एक amazing parenting movie है, and that's Jagga Jasoos. So don't go on the name, go on the content. Watch the movie. रणवीर कपूर की movie है. That movie tells you that father taught his child everything what he needs to know in his life through experiences. And that's what parenting is all about. I connected this with my father. Who I am today is because of him. Because still remember, everything what I wanted to know, he has told me or showed me or gave me an experience for. I'm a good cook because of him. Because while he was cooking, I was standing beside him. I recently created churma, which I've never created in my life. मैंने कभी नहीं बनाया. But I remember जब मैं मम्मी चूरमा बनाती थी तो मैं उनके साथ खड़ी रहती थी. And she used to just give me those balls, उसको कूटो. So I know the procedure. I've seen the procedure at the age of 7, 8, when she used to make churma. I've seen the procedure, but I've never made myself. So whatever you are doing, keep your children around you. Don't take them as a burden. ये हटे यहाँ से तो मैं काम करूँ. Involve them in what you are doing. आप रिक्शा कर रहे हो, उस बच्चे को बोलो रिक्शा करे ताकि वो नेगोशिएशन स्किल सीखे. आप बार्गेनिंग कर रहे हो, सब्जी ले रहे हो, टेल योर बच्चा टू buy 1 kg tomato for you. And then when you ask him, he will say, उसने इतना मांगा, मैंने इतना दे दिया. Then you can tell him, okay, 10 रुपए मांग रहा था तो तुम 9 रुपए में negotiate कर सकते थे. So we will go one day. Our children will stay here. So what we have learned, it's our moral duty, ethical duty to pass it to our children. So do that. Every single moment spent by you with your children, whether the child is in class 11 or whether he's in class 1, is a future investment. That the investment of time, and please, if you want, do calculate it, you will get it back. Don't expect it, but if you do it selflessly, you'll definitely get back. So the whole idea is spend time. I'll go with what sir said. Spend quality time with your children. Listen to them. आज अगर उनको आप सुनोगे तो वो कल आपको सुनेंगे. अगर आज आपने उसकी मम्मी मेरी बात सुनो वो पल्लू खींच रहा है और आप अपने इंस्टाग्राम में हो तो आगे कुछ नहीं होगा. फिर चिड़िया चुग गई खेत. तो जब चिड़िया चुग रही है ना उसके साथ चुग लो, उसको उड़ने मत दो. That's the idea. That's it.
Yeah,
Thank you, Kushbu.
yeah. So one last note from my end. Since I am a teacher, I would say if your child is small right now, he's in a foundational level or he's in a primary level, focus a lot on their basics of grammar, basics of math, basics of science, और उन्हें एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग कराइए. उन्हें बहुत आराम से पढ़ाइए. अगर आपको लग रहा है कि बच्चा किसी एक चीज में वीक है तो इंस्टेड के उसके ऊपर ऑब्सेस करने के या उसको उस चीज पे डांटने के आप आराम से उसे पढ़ाने की कोशिश करिए. वो इवेंचुअली समझेगा. हर बच्चे की लर्निंग पावर अलग होती है. तो आप बस परेशान मत होइए. आप पेशेंस के साथ उसे समझाइए. जो भी आपको आपको एज अ पेरेंट समझ में आ रहा है कि मे बी साइंस में ये कॉन्सेप्ट वीक है, हिंदी में ये कॉन्सेप्ट वीक है, कुछ बच्चों की मात्राओं का प्रॉब्लम होता है, कुछ बच्चों का ग्रामर में इशू हो जाता है इंग्लिश में. सो हाउएवर यू वांट टू डू इट, बस पेशेंस के साथ आप अपने बच्चों के साथ टाइम स्पेंड करिए. और these are all the things as a parent that you can do. So yeah, I think we are good to go now.
Yes. So time is
Yeah,
up. So let's wind up. So thanks
yeah,
everyone for being, here today. And we actually enjoyed connecting with you and sharing our life experiences with you. And I'm glad, it would have made some difference to, your life. Thank you.
thank you so much.